Good evening. It's time for the Shorter Street Weekly Overview with Richie Garrett. How has everyone fared during another volatile week in the market? Gains, loss, the news you want on the stocks you need, price movements, market highlights, and the bottom line. Let's take a look. Before we get into that, we have a special guest to introduce. Today's guest is the head analyst from the prestigious investment firm Platinum Smith, Susie Wu. There's applause, cue camera, out from the smoke she appeared, her platinum blonde hair pinned in an intimidating updo. Susie Wu in her skinny dress pants, designer glasses, and thick pink lipstick. One hand was full of documents, while the other was almost constantly on her hip. Those glasses made her distressed face appear more confident. Frankly, I couldn't believe it was Eleanor. Thanks for taking the time out of your busy schedule today. Your hair sure is shooting up today, just like the stocks. Richie Garrett in his gold suit purposely pointed his mic up towards her hair. Susie Wu shrugged her shoulders as the audience laughed. Anyway, glad to have you here today. So today we'll be spending the next 60 minutes with the popular analyst Susie Wu. Let's look on with investing tools in hand. As they spread their arms out dramatically, the camera panned out over the entire studio. Then cartoon character stock market charts danced around and switched over to their gaudy CG intro. For a second there I thought they were going to show it. I muted the sound and pushed the display off to the side, taking out my investing tool. There was a single brand listed. Security number 3227, ticker symbol AVLN. Umbrella Energy Corporation, Avalon. Previous day's stock price was at 622 mules, up 1.2%. By trade volume, it was in third, first being Emerald Industries and second being a pharmaceutical company that just had its patent for protein structural determination software approved. You couldn't go so far to say their financial situation was in tip-top shape, but that's not hard to imagine, as it was still in development. Debt is nothing but a manicure for growth, and there's no time to hold internal reserves, they say. Their main profits are from the energy trading department, and the supporting services profits follow after that. The energy trading department was just that, a department for trading energy stocks. But that just happened to be the department Eleanor mentioned before, the one that didn't discuss its details. There'd be nothing suspicious about Avalon if it was a company producing and selling energy, but they were the founders of the energy trading market, where everyone could purchase the electricity flowing through the moon. Avalon collected brokerage fees from people, but also seemed to have done trades itself and made a rather large profit. It was hard to tell how much was from electricity company profits and how much was from their gambling their earnings. Earnings outside of a company's main function are recorded as separate financial statements, and Avalon had done the same itself, but Eleanor saw that there were discrepancies in them. Basically, she suspected there may be someone who was using the electricity trading market as a cover for padding the sale of profits. With that in mind, I tried looking through the electricity trading market. First, production of electricity on the lunar surface became a free industry where anyone could produce and sell electricity. Production is fine, but the arduous task of delivering that energy to end customers falls on generator suppliers. Thus, with Avalon having the most transmission facilities available, they had developed the energy trade market. Energy producers sold futures there, meaning the amount of energy produced each month was predetermined. Buyers purchased those futures, and Avalon transmitted the energy. It was all rather simple up to this point, but the problem was that electricity prices aren't stable. While the mode of energy production was mostly solar, and the amount generated was fixed, the movement of people and development on the moon was intense, causing fluctuation in demand between areas. Then, by supply not meeting demand, there was a shift in price to cover the shortfall. As well, when there's a shift in price, it always brings forth an investing function. Within Avalon's stock market, it brought in a flurry of individuals unrelated to energy production or distribution who just gambled on the price fluctuations of energy. It wasn't that hard to smell a rat when Avalon was doing trades in that market itself. It would be the same if the owners of a casino played the slots in their own store and won big. Hard to not cast doubt on them. However, as long as Avalon itself was not controlling the demand for electricity, thus changing the prices, it was difficult to indict the wrongdoers. As industrial-scale stores of electricity were impossible to keep, they couldn't raise the prices by choice. Avalon had given this explanation when confronted with the suspicions of others. They did make a point there, I thought. Bookie or not, they weren't in the same boat regarding the future prices. One could just play it off as their traders legitimately being really good. Then Avalon built energy production and transmission infrastructure with the money gained, sending out even more electricity through the lunar surface, and improving the movement in the energy trading market even further. Everything progressed smoothly, or perhaps it could be that everything was progressing too smoothly. People like Eleanor had grown suspicious. And that's the basic overview of it. Thus, Eleanor doubted their accounts because Avalon had enough motive to do something like this. After Eleanor's company went under, it had been bought up by other companies and ended up being part of Avalon. But it seems that the payment of accounts at that time wasn't done with Avalon's liquid assets, but with the stocks of its own company. It's not strange to use stocks instead of liquid assets to buy out a company. After all, the side receiving those stocks may or may not make more money off them in the future. The side selling the stocks could settle things without using up liquid assets. Eleanor's company was in the black, yet it went under without liquid assets. So it stands to reason that the people would want Avalon to maintain its high stock price regardless of buying up one company after the other. They did have motive to pad sales and profits for the sake of using the electricity trade market as cover. I interlocked my fingers behind my head as I sat in my chair. This wasn't just connecting the numbers from the trades to numbers using to... One second. This wasn't just connecting the numbers from the trades to numbers used in my stock investing tool. This smelled like a story right out of the real world. It had been 1 week since I'd shaken Eleanor's hand at that hotel. It seemed that she really was working rather hard and hadn't gone back to the office on Schrödinger Street much at all. I say seemed because I'd holed myself up in my dorm after quitting my government job and had been busy taking care of all the paperwork involved, so I hadn't popped into the office much. Also, with the fervor in the real estate market, I hadn't been able to find a house in range and ended up staying in Reese's church. The smile Risa welcomed me with at the gate, combined with her saying something about how this would guide the flock down their new path, made my nose twitch. Chris, being Chris, didn't even try to hide her glee. My hand said I quit my government job to grapple with this problem seriously. It seemed that Chris wasn't aware that Glaive Goldshower was Barton. It was stated that Avalon's CFO was stationed on Terra, and not once had he been inside the headquarters. Using all the money and connections at her disposal, it seemed that Eleanor had come to the conclusion that Barton was Glaive Goldshower while she was investigating Avalon. That's why Chris had no clue at all. At most, Chris knew that Jack Rainey was Barton Clive's son. Eleanor didn't seem to have told Chris of her true intentions. She's probably so selective about who she tells because she realized how megalomaniacal her goal was. Even if that flowchart in the hotel room was the true account of what happened, then saying, we should overthrow them because their finances are suspicious, no matter how you phrase it, it seems pretty out there. Normally, they could be summed up as her being delusional. That was certainly why she employed me to do this instead of picking up a specialist. Eleanor probably assumed I'd take this on seriously because I had once tried pursuing a dream as fantastical as hers. Either that, or her begging me to lend her my strength was really just a roundabout way of speaking. I wanted someone to believe I'm serious. That's the possibility that was the only point. I took Eleanor's hand because I wanted to lend her my assistance. There's no question of that. But also, if it did all turn out to be nothing more than a paranoid assumption, I didn't want to leave her by herself. I knew all too well what catastrophic results could occur when you delve too deep into something, and how narrow one's vision became. So putting Chris aside, I wasn't sure if I should tell Risa or not. As of this point, though, I told her nothing. That's because while Eleanor certainly had an intense fervor, she's not the type of person who would lose sight of herself. She laid out her dream to me completely. I felt it would be rather rude to discuss with someone else that she might be a bit nutty. So that's why I stayed in Risa's church and hadn't uttered a word about Eleanor. Also, I still hadn't touched on investing. I was just adding in brands manually for improving Chris's data, spending the rest of my time looking into Avalon. During one such an occasion, the door leading out to the corridor opened. I lifted my head and looked in that direction. It was Chris. She had meat and vegetables rolled up in 2 burritos in hand. There was a good cheap stand near the church. I got them. Yeah. I turned off the stream of the stock market financial report and then, standing up from my chair, I poured some coffee. So, where has Risa gone off to? To the kindergarten. Seems she's been teaching there lately. Kindergarten. I guess she really has turned into a matron. Apparently, she's well liked. She said that when she tries to leave, they pull on her robe and so she can't. You don't go? Chris had donated much more than enough to Risa, but she was still helping out managing the church. I was certain she'd be helping out there as well, but Chris gave a tired laugh. I don't know why, but I'm picked on when I go there. They pull my hair and don't listen to a thing I tell them. I looked from Chris to the cup of coffee in my hands. It was rather easy to imagine that scene of Chris being picked on by a bunch of kindergarten kiddies. It's probably pet behavior stuff. They can probably sniff out the low ranks instinctively. Animals. Yeah, that's right. Animals. It was really like that. Sitting in her chair sighing, she drooped her shoulders a bit down onto her burrito. The prestige Chris received from being accepted into Lunar City University only applied to civilized society. It was rather mysterious that there was a place that existed where how incredible she was on the weekdays, with that program running fully autonomously, and earning vast sums of money while she was yawning away meant nothing at all. So, when's that from? I asked that as I picked up some of the shredded meat that had spilled out since it was too difficult to focus on trying to keep it from falling out in the first place. It goes from 2 p.m., so we'd make it even if we took our time. Chris had a tiny mouth and tiny hands, yet somehow she could handle that burrito skillfully without spilling anything. But she wasn't able to keep the sauce from splashing around her mouth. I stared at it, starting to feel like I was watching a squirrel eating in the wild. You really coming? I don't think there's anything interesting there for you to see. That's not true. I think going to the den would be really educational, since we pride ourselves on being carnivores. Chris said she wanted to be like Barton, but the way she was eating her burrito was a far cry from carnivorous. But over there, the place we were talking about could undoubtedly be called a den of carnivores. And in Eleanor's words, it was a tower of falsehood built with lies and deception. I'm rather surprised myself. Really. Yeah, if you ask me, it never seemed like you'd be interested in companies like Avalon. Their profits are increasing, their sales are soaring, they're upscaling, they're always improving, so of course their stock value goes up. All you need to do is buy Avalon, then go to sleep. Well, even if you were to make money betting on them, it's not really a brand to boast to others about. Right. We were headed to the Avalon Corporate Seminar. Not a seminar for job seekers, but one for corporate investors, focused specifically on personal stock ownership. Held practically weekly, it was to show traces of Avalon's success on the moon, as well as to make known how intensely it was going to grow from then on so that others held on to their stock for the long term. That seems to be their goal. I could understand it from a PR standpoint, it certainly improved their public image. There were brands that held plant tours often, especially food-related brands. In an email, Eleanor had said that, in the case of Avalon, they had yet another face. Avalon stated they were a general energy trading firm, but they were just an electric company. They were a company that was founded at about the same time there was an energy shortage on the moon. They made more money the higher the cost of electricity went. As the temperature on the lunar surface went down, their company heated up. They faced a lot of criticism, so keeping those critics in mind, it was part of their strategy to keep their image as good as possible. I couldn't blame them. But they are still a company that embodies success befitting the moon on the moon. I'd like to see that in person. I'd like to see that train room in person too. The one said to be the tallest in the world. It cost 200 million wools, didn't it? If you include the salaries of the traders working there, it's said to cost more per cubic meter than anywhere else, even on Terra. The greatest minds in the tallest place. Doesn't it make you excited? Such a lunar way to be. Chris spoke cheerfully with just a dab of chili sauce on the corner of her mouth. Then again, Avalon was as popular as it was because it was in a place like that. Sure does. Chris tilted her head to the side and giggled. An intelligent Lunarian girl. I finished eating up my burrito before looking at my display. Avalon. As of right then, I stood against them. But if Barton truly was involved, no magic he could cast on it would surprise me. Avalon's headquarters was a 15-minute walk from Newton City Central Station. But that was simply 15 minutes calculated by the real estate agency and how it appeared on a map. Central Station on a Sunday afternoon was murderously crowded. After taking breaks for Chris when she got winded or didn't feel well, it came out to be more like an hour. I remember there was a news article about a faint-hearted tourist that went into a panic and caused a commotion. The one who hyperventilated, right? Saying that with all the people here, the oxygen would run out. Not someone to mess with. I'm sorry. Chris shut the lid of her canister with natural Lunarian water written on it and placed it in her bag. So, do they just get like ice from the surface, or like, what do they mean by this? Terra used primarily plastic bottles as they ran on crude oil, but as there was no crude oil on the moon, all drinks and foods were sold in steel cans or bottles. Both iron and the raw material for glass, silicon, could be harvested from the moon. It was also possible to recycle them indefinitely so long as we had solar energy. But I had heard that with the increase in electricity lately, there wasn't much difference between that and importing them via space elevator. Perhaps eventually the steel mugs we were used to using will be gone and replaced with man-made plastic goods. The increase in energy prices affected various aspects of the lunar surface. It was probably because of that. It became something of a circus in front of Avalon's headquarters. Knock down the corporations hoarding all the electricity. Corporations need to be held accountable. Electricity to the people, the sun for the moon. In front of Avalon's headquarters complex, a 92-story structure brazenly named New World Gate had the distinction of being the moon's third tallest building. A crowd of people holding picket signs were screaming out. The group was made up of somewhere between 30 and 50 people and clothes the color of withered greens, the sort I saw often in front of the government branch office. Must have been a common occurrence, as there were no cops on hand. Instead, a few bored-looking guards surrounded the group. Passers-by seemed more interested in the spectacle than the message. They caught everything on camera, since it was the sort of thing they usually only saw on TV. Where's reception? Looks like if you go in the main gate, it's near the 32nd entrance. We might get lost. How are we on time? But there's directions, look. Chris, appearing uneasy, saw a sign made of glass and a cool, steely turquoise material reading Avalon Enterprises Seminar Hall partway into the main gate. Next to the hologram display was a deliberately retro-designed android bowing ridiculously. We express our deepest gratitude that you would join us today. Please proceed down this corridor to the right. Directions were given out in a synthesized voice, seemingly intentionally, but this had Chris smiling gleefully. Says his name is Arb. Chris said that as we walked down the long corridor side by side. Arb. Arboreal, maybe. Like the wooded island of Avalon. It might be for arbitrage. Say the same goods are sold in Store A for 100 moles and Store B for 120 moles. If you were to buy from A and sell them at B, you'd profit with no risk. Traders specializing in this type of action were arbitrageurs? ARBs for short? Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce this correctly. I could say it in French, but it'd be I doubt it's pronounced that way normally. Which would suit a company that founded an electricity trade market. This sure is an amazing courtyard, though. You're right. It's almost like this isn't Newton City at all. There were hills, ponds, and even falls within this wide courtyard down the path we walked, and the large headquarters complex could be seen past that. The path gently curved to the left, and there appeared to be a fan-shaped courtyard in front of the headquarters complex. The The way the courtyard was set up, including this path we were on, was so the courtyard appeared as a divider when looking towards it. Avalon was founded 12 years ago, apparently. Chris said that while looking out into the courtyard. In 12 years, that little company had started on the second floor of a pizza delivery service has become this big. It's amazing. Chris spoke, looking off into the distance dreamingly. That said, it wouldn't be hard to imagine the scenery before her being part of a dreamscape. On Terra, I hear that cows double in weight every 10 days. What? That would mean they'd weigh half a ton in 100 days. If animals can get that big that fast, then companies should grow faster than that, and money should multiply faster still. That's rather amazing. You are probably gaining at the same speed yourself. Chris made a face at me when I said that, as if I had insulted her, then gave a wry smile. It's hard to tell numerically. Chris gets angry at me at times, though. She says I need to understand the repercussions of my actions. I've come to realize that from my conversations with you and Hagana. Is that so? Yeah. Remember when I told you how much was made off the money I got from your family? Hagana said, we can buy new shoes with that money, and you just froze. Now that you mention it, yeah, that happened. That happened 4 years ago. Can't you see how frightening growth is? Chris was offended when I countered with that, unable to entirely hold back a nervous smile. Selling a whole bag stuffed with goods earned 70 moles a day. 70 moles. That probably wouldn't even cover a day of Arb's electric bill. Oh. Chris turned back to the hallway looking surprised. Yes, that's likely true. But with that 70 moles, you'd be able to eat Bruce's home cooking for about 3 days. Chris looked idly into the courtyard and spoke. It's like a different world. The end of the corridor just came into view and appeared to enter into a plaza. There were tourists with children what seemed to be a tour group. An office person in a sharp suit approached Chris and me wearing the sort of brooding smile one would expect of an Avalon employee. Welcome, will you be participating in our company's seminar today? Yes. May I ask for your attendance authentication? Chris showed them on her terminal and they loaded the seminar schedule onto the terminal. They had booklets for anyone who wanted them, so all guests from Terra were taking the tour were staring at paper pamphlets. You will be escorted shortly, so please wait 1 moment. With one last smile, they left at the same deference I'd noticed from the employees at the Central Hotel. This little plaza had a domed ceiling with mechanical birds circling as they chirped. The temperature control was also well managed, making even this inefficient area warm. It truly is a different world. Just as I murmured that, a bell chimed, signaling the start of the company's seminar. Avalon began as a small energy brokerage firm served by current CEO Kevin Lath. Employees began proceeding out front as they opened. It appeared to be designed for that. There seemed to be somewhat of a distance to cover, so an employee, seeing that I walked with a cane, offered a wheelchair. I felt I didn't really need it, but Chris also suggested I use it, so I ended up borrowing one. So Chris was now looming over my head, smirking. It turned out that she wanted to push me around. And this would be the actual building. The crowd let out a collective gasp of awe, and an image of a rather shabby building was shown. 3-story buildings like this could be seen everywhere in the Outer District. Even had one of those character figures set up all over set up all properly in the pizzeria. Kevin Lath's quick opportunity-grabbing methodology, deregulation of the Lunar City government, rise in energy demand, huge investments in infrastructure. Matching those all together, Kevin Lath, at the time not even able to buy a pizza from that pizzeria, now owns this cutting-edge corporate headquarters on the moon. The guy motioned behind them toward the shining glass-windowed skyscraper. That stark comparison made one feel it was somewhat magical. Then how exactly did Kevin Lath make Avalon such a large company? We'll explain by going over each department within the company in order. First is the energy brokerage firm. The tried and true system is still in place, and even without going through the market, it has connections to various industries wishing to offer fair and long-term rates and long-term contracts for supply and produce energy. This was an especially boring floor, probably created like this for guide purposes. There were a few regulations left over back then, which was why there were a few energy generating stations. Energy generation, transmission, and supply workers were all scattered about on their own. Wasn't that rather inefficient? That was where Kevin used his own two legs to gather information. Based on that, he was able to bring efficiency to the people. It's like one of those stories back down on Terra. The audience burst into laughter. Terra crippled to a snail's pace by regulations and gravity, the moon moving freely and efficiently. After that, Kevin applied himself to the energy transmission industry. We head up to the 5th floor inside a giant glass elevator. Looking up, we saw fountains and ferns spread about. It looked more like a shopping mall than a place of work. Energy transmission companies at the time had either lines connecting Area A to Area B to transmit energy, or were able to send energy anywhere within Area C. It was a fairly odd setup. Everyone still profited though, so things remained calm. But Kevin, being a go-getter, realized that what was most needed was the ability to send energy from Ward A to B and B to C, where it was needed the most. Then after collecting all that data under his own steam, putting even the real estate industry to shame, he was able to figure out which groups were the most profitable. On the floor labeled Energy Transmission Department was a model of a mesh of transmission cables. There was one big glowing golden, as well as a small figure meant to represent Kevin and a glowing wool sign. If the combination works, you put pressure on the energy generators if it comes down to it. However, this is where regulations got in the way. A collective groan resounded. The audience, now enamored of Kevin the Go-Getter, ridiculed the stupid government shutting him out. The regulations stating that the energy transmission, production, and sale shall not occur simultaneously within one company have been created so Emerald Industries could monopolize the lunar surface. It was a thing of the past that a single company could monopolize the ever-expanding lunar surface. There were many shortcomings even then, and they couldn't cope with peak hours. That's when Kevin the Go-Getter, now a full-fledged industrialist, went right up to those dozing bureaucrats to give them a swift kick in the rear. Our elevator began going up again at an unusually slow pace as we passed floors labeled Legal Department and Regulations Department. Then another Kevin figurine came out flying out at the pillar supporting the elevator shaft, bearing text that read, "Knock out those stupid regulations." I think this is something different. Over the fool something? I can't... I don't know what that's supposed to be. If you guys keep up this inefficient nonsense, the costs of energy on the moon are going to bust through the dome and fly all the way down to Terra. That was the logic Kevin used to wake them up and get them to repeal that regulation. Nice. This was from one of the Terran tourists. When I looked over at Chris, she was giggling like she was being tickled. Then after the regulation was repealed, Kevin as an energy producer went on to create the greatest energy company on the moon. When we arrived at the floor-level energy production department, the elevator stopped. We'd already gone up quite a way. When I looked beyond the wall of glass, I got a bird's eye view of what I'd seen before at the Royal Central Hotel suite. Yes, would you look at the scenery behind you? That's the outlook Kevin had from that point on. The guide said that, imploring the audience to turn their vision to the scenery. Probably because I was looking at it. I couldn't stop myself from letting out a sigh of admiration. The edge of the dome could be seen from here, and beyond that was cold, mysterious outer space. But Kevin the Go-Getter didn't stop there. He looked back at everything up to this point and realized what he'd really ended up gaining was the ability to help supply every home, workplace, and construction site with electricity. That's where Kevin thought down the line. I was able to make things more efficient, but there's a limit. So what should I do next? Make a stock market. The guide pointed and smiled broadly in response to a shout from one of the tourists. Exactly. Look at petroleum and stocks. Because everyone contributes their wisdom to that complicated market, it's able to be efficient. So that's where Kevin set his sights. The guide took us down a corridor that appeared to be an open-ceiling terrace continuing up from the first floor. Chris tapped my shoulder and I looked up onto the futurals written on the wall as a Kevin doll wearing a full smile pressed onwards. But building up such business infrastructure is no small feat. Everyone try imagining this. A shared living room or a company break room. It's easy to understand things are more efficient for living and working when it's clean, but nobody wants to clean it themselves. To make people like that work, you need to shout, "Get cleaning!" The guide's voice echoed, emphasizing the emptiness of the company building on a weekend. But people don't see others while they're working. For one, there wasn't even an energy stock market. Creating a market requires a lot of funds. Especially since the energy being sold to others needs to be transmitted over to them. But it's not like you can just pack it up in a cardboard box and send it over. He needed to buy a lot of power grids. He also needed the brains to make that enormous complicated system. Normally, each of those would be a huge undertaking by separate companies and take many years to build up. But did Kevin give up then? No, of course not. As if by fate, two collaborators appeared before Kevin. The guide stopped to look back. There was yet another elevator there, flanked by two guards, standing with their arms crossed. I noticed it instantly. There were 3 dolls on the sill of the elevator entrance. One of a blonde youth, one of a man in his 50s. They were Grave? Wasn't his name Glaive earlier? They were Grave Goldshower, a CFO involved in numerous industries of financial affairs on Terra, and Jeremy Bondsman, a man who considered himself the greatest stock trader at a time when the Pope himself denounced the moon for its greed. According to Eleanor, one of those was Barton, but that doll looked nothing like him. I heard that Goldshower has always been on Terra, though. Someone brought that up. Yes, that's correct. Goldshower has a medical condition and cannot ride the space elevator. He became acquainted with Kevin when Kevin was canvassing for capital on Terra. And being impressed, he said, "I'll bet we could even make it onto Jupiter," and volunteered to be the CFO. Then after he procured the immense sum of 15 billion moles, he was indoctrinated into Kevin's dream. That was probably for the large-scale power grid purchase so they could shut out Emerald Industries prior to the creation of the Energy Stock Exchange. They were taking up debt 2 to 3 times in proportion. By my estimate, it would have been about 10 times their current debt. A forcefully overpowering technique. But an overpowering technique with purpose and conviction. An appropriate play if that enormous amount of 15 billion was capital raised by Barton. He had the tools, the stage was set, but he didn't have the hands to use them. But just floating in at that time was a young genius said to have an IQ of 230, Jeremy Bondsman. He had recreated Kevin's dream within a computer. And then, before we get there, this whole IQ thing, I don't think the Japanese actually understand how this works. I don't think I've ever seen them actually use it correctly. The guide paused winking at the security guards. They had put something on the panel and the elevator door opened. Plaster on that wall wasn't glass, but steel. Almost if we were set up for a surprise attack. More burly than you expected. Still, this is the elevator that connects to the heart of our company, Avalon. It needs to be sturdy. The guy knocked on the wall with a clang. The elevator suddenly jolted upwards, and when the door opened, everyone gasped. Dreams are at the heart of Avalon, and this super efficient exchange where anyone can buy and sell freely on the moon, Kevin's dream, is the heart of Avalon. Exiting the elevator, we came to a wall of an enormous hall. It was probably about 3 stories high. Machines for trading were at the very center of it, like the yolk of an egg. There were rows of desks facing each other, so many that merely counting them would be arduous. It was majestic. Majestic to the point of being peculiar, in fact. Even though it was a weekend, there were people here, likely because there were no weekends in the energy stock market, costing more per cubic meter than anywhere else in the world. That young man with the dress shirt and his sleeves rolled up, binding his pen as he glares at his display. How much did he make? Definitely 1 or 2 million moles. We had a bird's eye view of this entire scene. On the other end of this was a wall of glass, and the view from the 3rd richest spot on the moon was spread out before us. Avalon. The door to a different world. Just at that moment, cheers could be heard. "Over there," someone screamed in the crowd as he pointed. I followed his gaze and saw a small crowd of men slapping each other on the shoulders. The guide received some sort of communication on their tablet, then spoke. There was also another mistake. There is 3rd person plural. Since the guide is a single guide, that should just be a singular. His or her, in this case his. Just now, the efforts of a team that took the long position and won others that thought was an irrational price paid off. Profits around 23 million moles. They'll probably be drinking themselves under the table with the champagne today. Was that statement true or not? I was uncertain, but profits of that margin had to come up frequently, or this trade room certainly couldn't be sustainable. And our Kevin's office is over there, farther up at the top portion. You can look down on everything from there, so from time to time he urges on his fervent traders from above. The guide pointed over at a spot much like one of those special box seats at races. Energy stocks are what's primarily traded here, but there are various other trades taking place, approximately 1,800 brands. Amongst them is this odd example of a weather derivative. Investing in a security based on how much it will rain next year. That's essentially what's being bought and sold. Those in industries that produce grains which are heavily affected by the weather trade in this. Of course, this is more on Terra than the moon, but we're gaining profits off it easily. We can still see the weather on Terra from up here, after all. The guide put a hand to her forehead, peering out the scenery behind the glass. So this is actually a she? Unfortunately, I don't have a really good view of the hand trying to confirm that, but it's a very androgynous character, if nothing else. This is the heart of it all, after all. It's the most efficient place on the lunar surface, crafted from Kevin's actions and ideals. Lowering the barriers of trading and the fluidity of allowing a vast number of participants in, that itself becomes efficiency. As such, energy on the moon is especially... At this point, the guide was still speaking elatedly. But the price of energy is just going up. The sharp voice echoed, startling everyone to turn towards it. There are places in the outer district where it's too cold to sleep at night because there's not enough electricity and they can't buy it. How are you guys going to explain that? The moon became uneasy as though a duck had wandered into a flock of swans. Everyone turned towards the guide, almost as if they sought refuge. Yes, it's true the cost of energy is soaring. However, if not for us, it would be even higher. That should go without saying. That BS again, I won't be fooled, you damn racketeers. Even if you say that, economists explain that prices approach a median where trades occur in a timely fashion. If we were to vanish right here and now, that would prove our point. That's easier said than done. The audience nodded and the guide looked at the middle-aged man, scoring him with eyes full of pity. The lunar surface is expanding at an unprecedented speed. We are doing what we can to keep our lifeblood, energy, from becoming a stopgap. There's someone like that in every office, isn't there? The ball won't get rolling without them there. Those paper pushers. Or in every family, like a mom who knows where everything is, from nail clippers to shoes. The guy chuckled, so did the audience. Also, the average IQ of our company's able traders is 150. By having them remove the inefficiencies from the market, we are able to pass along services of lower rates and efficiency to everyone. After the guy had said that, they lowered their head respectfully. A single audience member clapped, and the rest followed in kind. I looked at Chris. Her eyes sparkled as she gazed over at the scene of the traders who were said to be at the pinnacle of the lunar surface. Just as you've seen, Avalon is an energy cooperative firm. How was it? Stocks in our company are like tickets, so board Kevin's magnificent dream. Applause. Certainly, it's quite different from the quaking of investment bank sale pitches, isn't it? Not to mention that our employees invest their pensions back in our company's stocks and manage them. Oh my god, it's Enron all over again. That just goes to show they understand that it's the most wonderful choice they can make for securing their retirement. Applause again. The guy then glared down at the lower class individuals as if they were the king's magistrate. In fact, a certain backbone energy technologist who optioned a portion of his salary for our company's stocks gained so much from them that his salary pales in comparison. He, a Terran immigrant, has recently purchased a maisonette in a Newton City district. Quite convenient for his daughter who commutes to college. I believe that's supposed to be like the equivalent of mansion, but I'm not entirely sure. I know maison means house, I just never heard the net part added onto it. Then again, it could be like a studio apartment for all I know. His hard work becomes his family's happiness, and the harder he works, the better the industry and stock value becomes. How could he not admire Kevin? With what foresight he had been implementing his system in the infancy of its lunar operations. The audience then let out a sigh. Of course you can purchase our company stocks even without being an employee. Smile. The driving technique in stock trade isn't announcing how valuable the stock is, but rather proclaiming its potential to improve in its worth from here. The most enticing pitch being that there's someone who has already gained from it and they aren't that much different from you. Telling people they've not been living smart, that incites the majority of people and causes them to act less judiciously. I barely paid attention to the guide's pitch, which itself rivaled that of an investment bank salesman, and gazed above me from the wheelchair to what appeared to be Kevin's office. What did the scenery look like from there? 4 years ago, Barton taught me by pointing out the company building of a pharmaceutical company called Ringtech. There really was a curse on that building. Your sales plummeted if you resided there. But he said it was simply because managers of failure-prone company models tended to like that sort of building, and Ringtech really did vanish. Then, what about this Avalon office? It certainly stood to reason by its continued successes, continuing up from the first floor, yet it also felt it stood too much to reason. And the guide's pretenses. Energy Cooperative Trading Company. But if the main focus was on investing, then there would be no place to state that it was a trading company. It would be no different from a hedge fund gambling group. The profits earned by those traders, were they included in the energy company's finances, or were they considered a special type of profit they just happened upon? Seemed like a trifling difference, but if, as Eleanor said, it was because Avalon felt they must maintain high stock value, it was actually quite important. If stock in a bakery went up, it was because they sell lots of bread, not because the old guy behind the counter was trading stocks in his spare time. Come what may, the guide here put forth a front that no gambling whatsoever took place here. They implied that if you buy stocks now, you were certain to have good fortune in the future. What was the motive? Of course I pondered that because of what Eleanor had told me, but there was also another reason. The guide was consistent. The presence of the traders wasn't because they were gambling. Rather, it was stated that they were individuals collecting handling fees from the efficiency yielding market. Even if they were trying to dissociate themselves from the idea of gambling, they still didn't need to show off that prestigious-looking trading room. People rarely thought about what they couldn't see, so conversely, if they were flaunting this, one wonders who they were trying to impress. Something felt off. Now then, let's head back down. Please feel free to relax in our company's illustrious cafeteria. The guide said that and moved us back to the elevator. The door closed, and with it, the view from one of the 3 richest groups on the moon disappeared. The audience was bustling with conversation. There were quite a few guys pulling out their tablets, checking stocks as well. I even heard someone ask, "Can't you buy stocks after trading hours?" It's not like there hadn't been any press on this, so there was not a single logical reason for their haste to buy. Chris's program was able to reach insane levels because that many expectant people flocked to the Lunar Stock Exchange en masse. It was amazing. Chris whispered to me despite that. Yeah. Looking at the middle-aged men engrossed in their tablets, I thought, this will only make the stock go up. Then suddenly, I realized there were others besides the optimistic guys. There will always come a time where you eat losses in the stock exchange. Yet there wasn't even a minute note of the risk from the guide's explanation. Saying that they were just part of the service industry and their earnings were all from handling fees. That was nonsense. It was an obvious lie. There was a well-known example that there were no correlation between IQ and skills in securities, yet the guide uttered those groundless statements. Well, so it's possible that it could just be the guide's BS and the writer actually did know what, I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, but the writer knew what he or she was talking about with the whole IQ level thing. Average person might not know that, so, yeah. Could that simply have been a little concocted PR hype? But we saw the trading room. Why didn't they boast about their latest generation facilities instead? Wasn't this an energy cooperative? I looked up at the overhead atrium. This optimistic atrium still had that just-built smell. That was why they were selling stocks and trying to maintain high value. was I only thinking that because of what Eleanor said? There was definitely no answer for these sorts of suspicions, but it seemed Chris had no doubts, and none of the other guests questioned anything. Excluding the guy who bared his fangs at the guide, most people seemed to believe that a large, reputable conglomerate like Avalon seeming suspicious was just par for the course. And in most cases, that's true. Eleanor could hold an extreme bias simply because she felt she'd been victimized. At the very least, I needed to stay calm and fair. As I leaned back in my wheelchair, entertaining Chris, she cheerfully pondered what to eat in the company cafeteria. I mulled that over. It was just that there were always motives behind what people did. Besides, a room was a reflection of its owner's heart. Kevin Lightstrom had a clear view of that trading room. As I thought of the reason for that, ill will was swirling through the lunar surface. Or it could have been that I was also infected. A few days after the expedition to Avalon, the trial program from Suro came. An email came saying that the researchers had all been clamoring, me too, after seeing Chris's photo and profile. I was concerned and wondered if those guys were okay, in many senses of the word. But the trial program they sent was quite good. I pretty much expected that Avalon would be ranked first. The brand considered most optimistic, and thus holding the highest ranking in Chris's program was Avalon. They sent the algorithms based on as well, so even I should be able to input whatever you want. Man, this is quite amazing as it is, though. As I scrolled down the display, it practically matched up with the brands I had sent to Chris over the last few days. But as there were limits to manpower, there were many brands I didn't know. This isn't good. What are we going to do if someone's figured out this method? They'll pull ahead in no time and then profits will dry up. If we start making profits by using this program, it will reflect in the stock prices. If someone doing data mining catches on then, it will only be a matter of time, but before that... Chris then unfurled the wall-sized roll panel. A device capable of displaying data from a tablet, as well as being a touch panel, it can be written on directly too. Terraborn companies with offices set up on the moon were in fierce competition with things like this, so older models could be bought at bargain prices at second-hand shops. Chris had left a math text of some sort displayed on there. She seemed to often stand facing the wall, writing formulas well into the night as though she was doing little more than doodling. Before that, Chris grinned, outshining the room around her when I encouraged her to go on. Create an overwhelming advantage. Chris said this brashly, seeking to directly challenge the beast on the moon. It was close to being downright adorable. Now we don't have to worry about Haru's curfew. We can talk all we want. Scary Arisa comes to drag you off to sleep, though. Maybe we could buy a two-way device that connect it. I still need to sleep at night. I rose from Chris's chair where I'd been sitting and said that in an almost disgusted tone. There appears to be a direct negative correlation between the time you sleep and an increase in profits. With the lights off so that the panel could shine, it was difficult to see Chris's expression. I didn't see her eyes, just the panel reflecting off her glasses. But under sunlight, it was very easy to make out the dark circles. She probably couldn't help herself having so much fun, but even though I'm not Risa, I still wanted to nag her about it. Also, sorry, but I have something I need to do after this. Where are you going? Ever since I started staying at the church, Chris follows along, even if I'm just going down to pick up something. She went to the office on Schroeder Street almost every day to watch over the trades, perform maintenance, and implementing corrections, but other than that, she never left me. I recalled a few years back during the period devoted to my rehabilitation. Back then, Chris was more engrossed in it than I was. I'm being summoned by Eleanor. I'm heading to the Royal Central Hotel. Right now? Then I'll go too. She said to come alone. What? Come alone to the hotel at night. Chris lost for words, making a face that showed she knew she was being lied to, swaggered she was about to walk. She tripped on something and stumbled. Could that be... We're going to be talking about stock analysis. She said if you listen in, your decision-making could be affected, and she doesn't want that. I took Chris's arm and helped her up. A lithe and delicate body. Chris was so delicate. When I imagined myself having been supported by her these past few years, I felt deeply ashamed. what could have distracted you enough to make you fall over like that? I inquired directly, fixing Chris's crooked glasses. Chris was clearly nervous, but when I moved my hands back from her glasses, she followed them with a wistful gaze. Then she looked at me slowly with upturned, embattled eyes. Why would you ask me that? Because Hagana never made that kind of face at me. I shrugged and pinched Chris's cheeks a bit. Chris puffed out her cheeks, murmuring, yet my hand showed not a twinge of stiffening when I mentioned Hagana's name jokingly like this. Chris seemed happy about the joke, partly because she actually liked being teased, but also probably because it might have been a sign that I was getting over what happened 4 years ago. When will you be coming back? I was told to call if things look like they're going to be dragging on. Risa is strict about this stuff. I'll wait for you. Don't. The conversation carried on until we reached the entrance. Risa was indifferent, deeply focused on making materials for the kindergartners across the corridor. I placed my hand on top of Chris's head, thinking this might not be so bad either. Don't you still have to decode the program from Suro? Oh. Just at a glance, there were some bits that felt a bit off. There's so much to talk about, even if I didn't want to. Aren't you going to create an overwhelming advantage? I ruffled her hair, then let her go like I was tossing her back. Chris's eyes spun like she was dizzy. Right at the end, she gave an exasperated chuckle. You really are mean, Haru. She said that rather happily. The lunar surface chilled when the sun set. I lifted my muffler up to cover my mouth and went forth into Newton City. I had recorded my impressions and random thoughts when I toured Avalon to send an email to Eleanor, but it was only today that she responded. She wrote, I think I can make a bit of time, so why not have a little something as we go? Famous for its 100 million moles, Newton City was lit up regardless of the energy shortages. The area in front of the Royal Central Hotel was bustling as usual, swarming with individuals wearing fur coats and carrying canes. Apparently there was some sort of reception going on tonight, as people were flooding in regardless of how late it was, but those attending appeared to be in well-standing and informal attire. Black tuxedos with black ties, the Lords of the Moon. Then there was me wearing my usual clothes, hobbling around on a cane, carrying an apple pie wrapped in a napkin like I just got it from my grandma. Risa forced me to take it along, saying I couldn't go over there without something to present to the lady. I was tempted to say she's more like nobility, seeing as she's living in a room that costs 100,000 rubles a night. But it was more trouble than it was worth to oppose her, so I did as I was told. Many people were chatting in the lobby, the men slapping each other on the shoulders in an exaggerated manner, the women propping their hands gracefully on their hips. I realized how out of place I looked, hunched over as I was, and it brought my mood down. Not because I was overwhelmed, rather because I was appalled. I went to the front desk and gave Eleanor's name just as she had instructed. I was then told to wait for a moment. A swarm of ladies and gentlemen passed by me. Definitely a sight calculated to make one feel that the moon was drunk with prosperity. Sorry for the wait. Not long after I thought that and waited for a bit, Eleanor arrived. Along with her usual attire, she wore some fluffy fur-lined cape-like thing. She was the spitting image of a lady in good standing who could fit in everywhere, even surrounded by formal wear. I wondered how I must have looked standing at her side. Probably like some outer district riffraffs bundling a native, a naive but wealthy damsel. My apologies for making you come all this way today. It's nothing. There's something we need to talk about that's faster in person than by email. Yes, I thought as much. That's why I called for you. Meaning, the prose of your emails is too rough. Was it too difficult to understand? Eleanor gave a small nod, then said, Not so much difficult as I felt like I was reading a legal text. Which meant it was difficult. Before we begin, let's move to the restaurant. I do know a particularly good restaurant in another hotel. Quite the impressive person. Are you normally like this? Normally? No. Well, lately, I suppose. She took the lead much as Chris would, walking through the lobby out the front entrance. Seeing all the black limos spitting out formally dressed ladies and gentlemen, it was a mystery to me why cars weren't allowed here. This is some company's new stock publication party. faces of those in formal attire. Did they all agree to me because of what I'd just been told? These hotels are all booked with events of this nature, you see. That is one of the reasons I'm able to stay in that suite. Looking over at Eleanor, I saw a mischievous grin on her face. It seemed the interval between waiting periods was shrouded in mysteries. I pondered that for a bit. There were a few basic resources in the world, meaning the prices of what was not available would continue to increase. The reason your employer can reserve that ridiculously priced room for long periods of time is because whenever there are major events, he prioritizes reserving the reception hall at this hotel. Exactly. Seizing the most illustrious hotel on the lunar surface, you can't buy that sort of status with money alone. It also becomes a fine advertisement for the hotel when high-priced rooms are always booked solid. Is the state of your room a fine advertisement too? My. Chris would have probably pouted and stared at the floor embarrassed, but Eleanor simply gave a small chuckle. The composure of the refined. With each of her small movements, her wavy platinum blonde hair shimmered like snow under the lights of the lobby. I wonder what company this is. Must be a big deal if it attracts this many people. I looked around as I said that. Eleanor looked around too, a trace of a smile remained as she passed her somewhat chilly gaze over the scene. I believe it's a venture industry company using some innovative method to transport goods between the lunar cities. I believe their newly listed stock raised about 200 million moles. The 200 million moles sounded incredible, but there was something more that caught my attention. Innovative transportation method. They take advantage of our gravity being 1/6 that of Earth and pile up goods to launch between cities. They say it'll become the new leading method of transport, 10 times faster, 3 times cheaper, and 0 traffic. I was honestly impressed. The second and third lunar cities were expanding constantly. Hauling supplies had to be done with wheeled vehicles. So blasting them through space like that would seem to be a logical alternative. You sure know your stuff. Then again, this was Susie Wu I was talking to. Eleanor looked away from me as she spoke, watching for a limousine. In the beginning, they had approached me about it. Meaning, they came to me saying we would like to list a new stock. For a moment, I didn't understand what Eleanor meant. Eleanor's job was judging the quality of stocks, wasn't it? Then that would mean the company was thinking of listing their stocks, so they asked her to analyze the quality or something? But if that were the case, what did she mean when she said in the beginning? As I stood there confused, Eleanor expelled a cold white puff of breath and continued. I am an analyst. I analyze stocks. Right. At the same time, my employer, Platinum Smith, is an investing bank. Thus, I assist when a company wishes to list a new stock. A limo had pulled up while Eleanor was speaking. We entered the cream-colored interior of the black steel cage. And a company listing a new stock wants as many people as possible to buy it for as much as possible. The founder and venture capitalist holding stock in the company wanted it to take off like a rocket the moment it was listed on the stock exchange. That was their little wish. We hadn't given the driver a destination, but the limo had begun to move. Eleanor's tone was calm and smooth, but there was a touch of spite at the end, and I could see from the profile of her expression that she was upset. An investment bank earns its fee when the equity goes unhindered. This also involves the stock value increasing unhindered. Basically, Eleanor analyze it and give her seal of approval. Yes. Instead of having some investment bank specialist suggesting them, it's 100 times more effective having my recommendation, you see. I see. When you're debuting a stock amidst all the ones being added to the ticker daily, a bit of fife and drum action was necessary. If a corporation is going to pay the handling fees, it stands to reason they'd want to go to the people with the loudest fifes and drums. So it's probably no big deal for them to ask for a buttered-up review since they were paying the handling fees. You said in the beginning before. What did that mean? When I asked that, Eleanor furrowed her brow. It then went over to where Iceman is. Iceman? The analyst with false written over him, with a line drawn between Barton and himself showing the receipt of insider info. Yes. Why? Because I refused. I stared at Eleanor's profile in disbelief. It resulted in Harold Broth handling the issue of the shares rather than Platinum Smith. Iceman raved about them during their publication briefing. It probably won't be long until you see his splendid parade. I wasn't all that versed in corporate finances, but even with my meager knowledge, I understood what that meant. Wouldn't that mean you lost work for Platinum Smith? Well, yes. If I were the lead manager for an equity handling syndicate, this would depend on the type of stocks, but that would be anywhere from 3 to 5%. I thought back to what Eleanor had talked about in the lobby. What did she say? The amount procured had been about 200 million moles. 5% of that was 10 million moles. When I sent over the document stamped rejected, the investment banking division people made the same face you're making now. Eleanor then gave a taunting laugh. Maybe sardonic quips were just her thing, because that smile suited her well. But why would you? It shouldn't be that difficult to do a bit of analysis and give them a decent appraisal. Because it's a fraudulent enterprise. Eleanor stated flatly. Shipping by shooting between domes. She raised her chin and chortled just like a noble would. Are they trying to tear a hole in the domes? Oh. I checked with the Construction Bureau, and certainly there had been a building schematic application with it currently under review, but I cannot imagine building a cannon for a single enterprise would be approved. All land outside of the domes is owned by the government, and regulations on personal usage are rather severe. All that's permitted are astronomical observatories, outer space research institutions, and energy-producing panels. Honestly, what would they do if one of the capsules missed its mark? I'm not that clear on the situation. Could it be they're trying to swindle Terrans? Lunarians as a whole are being swindled. This company has neither the cannon nor the capsules, yet they're making profits and sales. Why do you think that might be? What? Now that she mentions it, even if you were to found a company off a single idea, you need to show some level of success before you could list that up on the stock exchange. This is all based upon the assumption of the cannon being built. They would sell the transportation schedule by making an online exchange, and they'd take their fee from that. I read this company overview 3 times over. I hadn't the faintest what it meant. I just can't understand what kind of company this would be. Soon, I had no idea what they were talking about either. A transportation system that doesn't exist yet. Under the presumption it would be created, they'd be selling the transportation schedule. Come to think of it, at the tail end of the last era, before the idea of the lunar capital was dreamt of, there was a company that sold real estate on the lunar surface. I wondered what happened with that. You could call it audacious. It might even sound appropriate to call them the Avalon of shipping. But even Avalon is transporting their energy correctly. Put another way, it's like a casino. The truth is, it's a fraud. I couldn't list such a thing on the stock exchange. More than that, giving a good rating would be impossible. I knew this, and that's why I rejected it. Abide by your own justice. Eleanor said that as I continued to watch her profile. There are parties held every night just as lively as that in the lobby in the hotels on the moon. Practically all of them are the same. The stock exchange is too much of a bull market where just listing those stocks makes them shoot up in worth. The founder is quite wealthy. Those able to buy beforehand are rejoicing. What happens after this probably doesn't matter at all to them. By that time, they'll have sold off the stocks and be living in the lap of luxury on Terra. There's just too much of that sort of ill intent. Eleanor gazed out the windows, then continued. However, Harold Broth's Iceman did accept it in the end, and it was a great success. My defiance was probably meaningless. What Eleanor was doing was the same as what Brayna and I had done in the government branch office, the same as unmasking dubious government subsidy abuse. Coming from the masses, stuff like this was truly meaningless. There were piles of similar requests filed at other branch offices and undoubtedly passed right on through. Even if we rejected them, they'd be passed over elsewhere and it'd all turn out the same. But I didn't believe that my and Raina's actions were meaningless. You're right. It may not have any effect on the system as a whole. But I don't think it's meaningless if you're doing what you feel is correct. Eleanor turned from the scenery outside and brought her gaze to me. Then she smiled and looked downwards a bit. My apologies. Thank you. Not at all. After I said that, Eleanor turned to the window again and looked outside. She appeared to be terribly exhausted. Getting my way has actually begun causing a bit of a problem, though. Huh. Just as I said that, the car stopped. Eleanor turned to look at me. This is a problem I must solve. For today, shall we not enjoy ourselves insulting Avalon? Eleanor's smile was downright devilish, lit up by the light flooding in from the open door. Insulting Avalon was an odd way of putting it. In a red-carpeted, dimly lit private room, Eleanor and I ate a strange multi-course meal as we talked about Avalon. The only thing I remembered about the meal was the main meat dish. The rest were comprised of strange, unfamiliar ingredients. Most surprisingly, the main thing I remembered was how delicious it was. As we ate that strange stuff, I told her all over again about what went down during the Avalon Company's seminar. Avalon's unbridled, optimistic outlook, the existence of their trading room. Those two had struck me as off. What really bothered me was that they were saying they weren't gambling, yet presented their gambling room for all to see. If that division posted losses while they were that closely watched, it was inevitable they'd take a sharp dive. Yet they were trying to make others think there wasn't any chance of that happening. Only two possible things came to mind if that were so. One, they had a surefire method, something akin to card counting or rigging slot machines. Or two, if that wasn't the case, their contradictory composition meant they had some other purpose. Eleanor said there's certainly that possibility. Avalon's assets, their power stations and grid that is, still had not publicly disclosed their inner workings, remaining remarkably opaque on exactly how much their profits as an energy company took up. Of course, small goods stores in the city didn't have a definite and complete breakdown of inventory showing how much of the products had sold and what their profits were. For large corporations, even if they had no ill intents, it wasn't hard to imagine how terrible that could get. But even with that in mind, she was saying Avalon as a whole had something very off about it. Eleanor said she had gathered all the public knowledge available about Avalon on the moon, then gave me a small data drive. On it, she said, were all possible enumerated details on their assets and profits. I took it as I ate some dessert composed of vanilla ice cream topped with a shot of espresso. Apparently that's called affogato. As I took the memory device, I remembered the apple pie Risa had made me bring. So after finishing fancy dessert in a fancy restaurant, I handed it over. Never mind how humbling it was to wonder if an apple pie wrapped in a cloth would suit the palate of a noblewoman. Just seeing how well Eleanor suited her surroundings made the whole thing seem ill-fitting. That's what I thought, but Eleanor accepted it happily, saying she'd save it for a midnight snack. It was already quite late by now, but Eleanor had said she still had reports that needed compiling. Considering how strenuous that can be, and looking at her lithe figure, I can only imagine that all the calories she eats were consumed by her brain. As we parted ways, I told her she'd just take a break once in a while, but Eleanor just smiled and gave no answer. In order to bring about justice, Susie Wu must increase her influence for that day that is to come. That's what Eleanor had said. Then there was the duty of Eleanor Schweitzer. The duty of uncovering Avalon's unsolvable riddle. Reason aside, I had accepted it. I had to give it my all, knowing at some point I might have to tell her that her suspicions were all in her head. It's just that Eleanor had appeared terribly feeble when we had parted. And those few words she muttered during the drive about a problem, I wondered about that until I went to bed.